All right, boys, welcome in Friday night / Saturday morning edition of Mostly Hoops. It's been a day. And I'm trying to decide, Titus, was it an eventful day? It was. Betting favorites were 16-0. All 16 betting favorites won. The first game of the day was one of the best tournament games
in a long time. Kim Pom said in what, like 10 years?
Since 2016.
Yeah, 10 years. Yeah, that was great. Other than that, ho-hum.
Yeah.
Very chalky.
Not my tournament.
Like we anticipated it would be.
So, I don't know. Well, we'll rip the ad to start. Venmo, get in the game with the college brand and Venmo Debit Card. Earn up to 5% cash back at some of your favorite brands with Venmo Stash rewards. Upgrade your superfan status with special edition school designs so you can pay for your game day wings and rep your team at the same time. You can add your Venmo Debit Card to your mobile wallet as soon as you sign up and pay online and in-store right from your phone. And the best part, the card is tied right to your Venmo account. Got paid back for dinner immediately. Access the money in your Venmo balance and spend it on what you want. Game day stacks, tickets, new merch. Score more with the Venmo branded college debit card and get up to 5% cash back with Venmo Stash. Sign up at venmo.com/college card. Actually, before we talk about the games, I got to give flowers to Dana Beers. Slash, are you awake?
Yeah, it's been a long 2 days, but
I'm
here. I'm here, boys.
Round of applause for
I don't need congratulations, but thank you. This is the job we have, and it's the best job ever. And I'm ready to sleep directly after the show for hours upon hours.
Beersy went like 15-hour workday yesterday, sleep for like 3-4 hours, wub, cave for another 13 hours, and now we're doing this.
But just remember, our workday is watching basketball.
Yeah, that is true.
Exactly right.
So technically, not work.
Stuff in our faces. So yeah, today was a disappointment. We can call it like it is. Like I as much as I want to be one of the people that's like, listen, man, anytime you get NCAA tournament basketball, it's a good day. And that's kind of true. Like I had a fine time watching the games. But let's just be honest with ourselves. Outside of the Kentucky game, there were some that were close. Like I thought Utah State Villanova, kind of a disappointing finish to be honest. But there was great shot making. It felt like it was going to come down to the wire, and then Villanova just stopped making shots, and Utah State pulled away with it. Same thing with Miami, Missouri. That was tracking to be a pretty good game, and then just in the end it wasn't. So yeah, Kentucky Santa Clara was all time. Like we can obviously talk about that. Otega Owe, won the game for him obviously on the final shot, but won the game for him throughout the game. He was incredible. This Kentucky team is just not good, and he didn't care. He was like, "We're going to win this game. I'm going to find a way to win this game." We could talk about the final plays, and all that, and get into it a little deeper. But yeah, my overall thoughts on today. We thought it was going to be a chalky tournament. When I kept saying that in the preview and when the bracket came out and all that sort of stuff, I was speaking more of like the top seeds. Like I see this as like obviously any given year you expect a 1 seed to win it, but like this felt like it was going to be kind of like last year where the top of the top is better than the middle. What I wasn't necessarily anticipating was that the entire first round seemingly would go chalk, which is where we're at. We have 4 double-digit seeds remaining. Of the 32 teams left, 4 of them are double-digit seeds. One is High Point,
right,
who I think is the only really true Cinderella in this tournament, is High Point. You have Texas at an 11 seed. The University of Texas will never under any circumstances be considered a Cinderella. They could be a 16 seed. They're never going to be thought of as a Cinderella. VCU, who is technically a mid-major, I guess, as an A10, but they're a program that's been to Final Four before. They're a great basketball program. And then Texas A&M is a 10 seed. And outside of that, and again, like the same sort of thing I said about Texas, like you're just not going to consider Texas A&M a Cinderella. So yeah, as the dust settles, it's like, yeah, we don't have the Cinderellas. We could talk for hours about the state of college sports and is it NIL and transfer portal, and is that what led to this? I don't know, but I will say that when you look at the final 32 teams, you look at the games we're about to get, you do get a little more excited about it. So maybe that's the silver lining in it.
Yeah, I was going to say, the lack of true Cinderella this year, and it doesn't look like, I don't know. I guess High Point.
It's High Point. It's got to be High Point. It all falls on High Point's shoulder. If you're someone that wants a Cinderella in this tournament, High Point is your only choice.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm not cheering for High Point because Darius Acuff is probably my favorite player in the tournament.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It stinks that we aren't having we didn't have any 16/1s, we didn't have any 15/2s, we didn't have any 14/3s. But the result of that means that you got Bill Self versus Rick Pitino on Sunday. You've got, if everyone keeps winning, your Sweet 16 is going to be blue bloods and loaded coaches.
Yeah,
so
Hurley versus Cronin.
Yeah.
Hurley versus Cronin. I like it. So I don't know. I'm excited for the future of the tournament, but Dana Beers, thoughts on today? A little bit of a dud, no?
It was a dud, and honestly, something I noticed was some of these teams like Hofstra and Wright State, and there's one more, but those two I noticed were like in the game pretty deep. Oh, Furman.
Mm-hmm.
They were in the game pretty deep into the second half, and then kind of fell apart. Whereas Miami, Ohio, just got destroyed from the jump.
Yeah.
And that jumped out to me a little bit because that was I got duped by them. I said it in the middle of the stream today. I bet on them, and I also picked them in my bracket to move forward against Tennessee. I fell for them in the SMU game. They looked terrible, and all the people who said maybe they don't fit in this tournament might have been right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, they looked like they didn't belong on the same court with Tennessee, but I do think what's interesting about where Miami ultimately landed is that both parties got what they wanted out of Miami.
It's bullshit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it was kind
are-
of like an inconclusive conclusion that, yeah, if you're someone that's like Miami is not, like, why are we pretending like this is one of the best teams? You saw today, like they were very obviously not one of the best teams, and their record was inflated by a poor schedule. Having said all that, like they did beat an SMU team, and like the people that were saying they don't belong in the tournament, like I think it worked out perfectly. I think everybody got what they wanted. Miami got their chance. They played well against SMU. It was very fun. It was the most fun first four game we'll probably ever see, to be honest. But then at the same time, like reality hit them, and it just kind of it was what it was. Like it wasn't just that they lost. It was like how they were airballing shots left and right. They were short on everything. They couldn't get any separation on Tennessee's defense, and you can say Tennessee's a bad matchup for them. I kind of think any team would have been a bad matchup. I think any team with length and athleticism and as it turns out, like highly desired recruits and players that are going to play at the next level. Yeah, any team that had that was going to be a problem for Miami. So I'm not exactly stunned by this, but yeah, I'm not. As a guy who I was never arguing Miami didn't belong in the tournament. Well, my argument was that if they don't make it in the tournament, this would not be the most egregious thing I'd ever seen in my life. So yeah, I'm not even going to victory lap about the Tennessee thing, like, because I do think it worked out perfectly. I think that they should have gotten in the first four. I'm actually kind of glad that they won. That was a cool thing that happened. But also, you know, the people that were like, watch them just go on an Elite Eight Final Four run.
Crazy.
This team, 31-0. Do you know how hard it is? You know how many teams? We could have had so many teams in this country have their schedule. I guarantee they would have lost it. That's not true. That's just not true. I guarantee you if Tennessee played Miami of Ohio's schedule, they would have won every game by like 30, you know? Both sides are right. That's kind of makes it funny, but it also makes it frustrating if you're someone that wants to see the world in black and white.
I just think it's a little silly that how many people are victory lapping on the internet streets right now. Like, told you so about Miami. They made it to the tournament. They beat SMU. They beat the ACC team that you guys all said no way they're going to beat.
Right.
And I get that they were an at-large team, so it's not apples to apples here. But you know who else got their dicks kicked in today? Northern Iowa got their fucking shit pumped by St. John's. Akron got their shit kicked by Texas Tech. And I get they're automatic qualifiers, so it's not like we gave them an at-large bid. But there's teams that got their butts kicked today, and we're not sitting here being like, well, we got to change everything about it.
And also, there was no compelling team on the bubble that got left out. That was the other part where it's like, they didn't take anybody's spot that I feel all that bad about. So, yeah, Miami loses all the. I mean, can we talk? This is a topic we could talk about. Is this idea, because we did it last night with the High Point coach. Matt Painter, I didn't even see that clip.
You should play it. I watched it again.
This is becoming like a talking point about the mid-majors versus the high majors, and I don't think it's a coincidence. I think it's happening because it's not just because Miami went undefeated. It's because you have this NCAA tournament where you look up, and like I said earlier, there's 30. We're only one round in, and there's one Cinderella left, and I think the smaller schools can feel the squeeze happening. And that's why you're seeing more discourse about this. That's why you're seeing more people come to the fight to defend Miami of Ohio, is because they feel like the squeeze out is happening. And I don't blame them. I mean, that's what conference realignment is. That's what like the college football playoff is seemingly trying to do. So that's where college sports seems to be headed. But I just find it interesting that like that's I don't necessarily think that the small schools are going to get shut out forever. Like the NCAA tournament's never going to be, at least I hope not. I guess I shouldn't say never. It's never going to be like, let's just have the power conferences play each other. Like if that happened, I would lose my fucking mind along with the smaller schools. But I just find it interesting that they're bringing this conversation to the table because I think they're sensing that there's been a shift that's happened.
Yep.
And that what we're seeing from this tournament this year is not an anomaly. This might just be what we see every year moving forward.
Well, let's play the Matt Painter clip because we've had Travis Steele has made his voice heard, and then yesterday the High Point coach made it clear after practicing 3 or 4 times what he wanted to say. If I'm listening to both arguments, Cody, play it. I side with Matt Painter.
You got to keep things in perspective because if he was in my position, like you're going to play 11 non-conference games next year, it's going to go to 12. And so we play 6 high major games and we play 5 mid-major teams. So when they say they don't play mid-majors, like we played 5 mid-majors this year. But if he was in our position, he'd do the same thing we're doing. Like I didn't set the net rankings. The net rankings set themselves, but I'm going to go by it. Like I'm going to figure it out. The coaches that don't look at the net rankings and get things figured out how to schedule are bozos. They're absolute bozos.
Nothing hits like a good bozo.
I love
your institution so you can get in the tournament and help your seed. So we're the only program in the country that's been a top 4 seed, 9 years in a row. And so we played Akron. Right? We played Kent State.
I love the games going on.
Oakland.
The crowd noise.
So like we've played mid-majors, but everybody plays mid-majors. Every high major plays mid-majors. They're just saying they're not playing them. And it's really a backhanded compliment that they're not playing it. But we've proved ourselves. Like the guy at Miami of Ohio says, like, nobody will play us. Well, Akron's been the best team in the league. Kent State's been the best team in the league. We played them. Year before that, Toledo's been a damn good team in that league and almost won it this year in the tournament.
He sways a
We
lot.
played them.
Yeah.
And
He's
so
swaying.
like we've shown ourselves in terms of like, but I'm also doing it from a net standpoint.
All right, this
because
is good. We got the gist, but I can I just say I love Matt Painter, by the
Yeah.
way. I love that.
He's
guy.
the man.
And he's a guy who does not run from it when it comes to scheduling.
You don't believe me?
He
I
schedules
can
a tough
see
non-con.
I can see you smirking. You don't believe me? I do love Matt Painter.
I just know that this show is on a string of like Ebo clips something and it goes viral.
Well, clip that. I mean, every
gotta-
time I do this show, you clip something and you make me look like I said that before we started this show, that if you only consume this show through Twitter, you would assume that I come into the show and that the entire point of Mostly Hoops is me to just have a laundry list of shit I want to
This is a
get
clip
off my
show.
chest.
This is a clip show.
So yeah, clip that. I love Matt Painter. I think Matt Painter is one of the best coaches in the country. I don't think whatever his reputation. I don't need to say what it is. I love Matt Painter.
Right.
He's awesome, and I agree with him here. I thought it was. I think it's nonsensical when like Travis Steele, he was doing what he has to do to get his team in the tournament, and that's kind of how this time of year works. You have your propaganda. You have to throw it out there, and that's sort of the game. But like this idea that like the general public was rallying behind all these mid majors and like, see, everyone's scared to play High Point. You're not. What are we doing? No one's scared to. We're not scared to play Miami of Ohio.
Well, that I think
Like,
that's
what are you talking about? There's no team that was scared to play you. It just like didn't work out that way with the schedule. Which like you're allowed to say that. Like I'm not mad at him. I'm mad at the casual basketball fans that are like, come on, man. Why are all these big schools scared to play him? It's like they're not scared to play. Just call if we just dealt in reality and we could have like a fair discussion about what's going on, then we can move forward. But when you're like just straight up making up these ideas that like Purdue played, like you said, they played Akron. Akron is the team you should be scared of in the MAC, and they're like, yeah, fuck it, we'll play Akron. Like you think they would play Akron, but they'd be scared to
Right.
play Miami of Ohio? No, it's preposterous.
that's my only gripe about the whole Miami thing is the casual fan is acting like there's some narrative that this team out of Oxford, Ohio, was gearing up with just an absolutely loaded mid-major team, and everyone knew it.
Everyone in the country knew that this was
everyone
going to be
just
a
like,
juggernaut. Yeah.
No, they made a run to the MAC final last year. Akron was better than them last year. Akron was better than them this year. So the idea that like people pinpointed Miami and said, now that's a team we can't see. That's not true.
Having said all that, congrats to Miami. It was a great year, and
was.
they should like it doesn't diminish how much fun they had, and like it's obviously a memorable season that they should hang banners, and I honestly would not have a problem if Miami hung a banner, which I guess they won the regular season MAC, so
They went undefeated. They will definitely.
But like if they hang an undefeated banner, I feel like the internet. I don't know. The internet loves them, but I feel like if another team did that, they might get clowned for it. If you hang a banner that's like we went undefeated, when you know.
I think a
and
banner's
then you
coming.
lose in the first round.
Banner's coming.
But
Yeah, if like.
but I'm fine. I'm before it happens. I just want to say I'm fine with it. If they hang a banner, I'm not going to clown you for it, Miami.
Let's I know we bruised by it real quick, but let's start back at Kentucky. That was the best game of the day. Cody, can you pull up the buzzer beater? Because there is a little bit of controversy going on right now, and I don't think we've talked about this yet in the cave. The coach of Santa Clara, so
Herb Sendek, yes,
tries to call a timeout after the make here, and then all hell breaks loose when they don't give it to him. So Cody, let's watch and then we'll discuss.
Clara. This is Gamble Lou Dog. Graves elevates. Buries it. 2.4 away.
Oh my God.
incredible shot.
It kind of looked like he had another referee closer to him. If you go back and run that back.
How do you not have a ref standing right next to him?
You see
knowing that's the spot where a coach is going to call a timeout.
Yeah, there is a different ref.
There's two refs right
like
near
the one that's running away from him is, I think, the one that he was focused on. But the trailing ref should have seen.
Yeah, I guess in that moment, though, it's just impossible.
You got to be in a ref's ear.
But hold on. Replay it. Just replay the timeout part. Rewind
there's one on the top left.
Okay, play it.
You're right, he chased.
Freeze it right there.
He chased the wrong ref.
He did.
So the ball's in. Okay, rewind it just a little bit. I just wanted to yell freeze it right there. Just to wake Dana up. Just in case he was dozing off. Yeah, he's calling it like it is so close. He is calling it before the ball's inbound.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to do it a little
I feel bad
faster.
for him, but
Can you go again, Cody? I want to play it. Watch the near ref, by the way. I just noticed this the first time he played it. This guy right here on the near side. Is he cheering for Kentucky? Stay with me. He's like, oh, fuck. Okay.
all right.
Okay. Do they make it? They do. Count it, baby.
Boom, bitch.
No, that's just a guy that knows there's a moment.
Yeah,
And he wants to be part of it.
that was awesome.
If I was a ref, I would do that all the time.
Hell yeah. The charge is so fun to call. Boom.
I feel bad. Is it possible to feel bad for Herb Sendek and think he has a legitimate gripe while at the same time not think that this was refereeing malpractice?
Absolutely.
That's where I land.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think the ref, I think ideally he calls it faster, but also he was calling it before the ball was in, but that's kind of just how it goes.
I feel like you got to make sure you're right next to a ref and be in their ear like, hey, if this is a basket, I'm calling one. If this is a basket, I'm calling one.
Yeah.
Coaches do that all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it is part of the game.
You got to
right?
set yourself up. He was equidistant, far away from both refs there.
Yeah.
It's a tough screenshot.
He was right
There
in the
was
middle.
so much going on, though, because the other thing that you got to remember is 8 seconds before that, Santa Clara was up 2. Kentucky had to score. Santa Clara chose not to use a timeout. Came in, hit a 3. It was just there was so much going on. I don't blame the refs at all.
Yeah, I don't. That's an impossible spot to be in, and the place is going crazy. And like, so even if he's yelling like timeout, like,
do you blame any? People are also getting on Santa Clara. It's like, well, up 3 2 seconds ago. It's the most obvious foul situation.
No
way. Not in a live ball.
Foul. Yeah,
And that's like a lot's going on. In
That's a
low
part of
amount of time.
what makes this weekend so great is college kids don't remember to do that. In that moment.
Exactly.
Are we allowed to just say that was a great fucking ending? Like, why do we have to criticize the refs, criticize the Santa Clara? That was fucking awesome.
Sometimes you can just have great plays happen, and it's no one's fault that they happened.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, if you knew that Otega Owe was going to bank in a 3 at the buzzer after you hit a 3, maybe Santa Clara would do some things differently. But also, if you told Santa Clara going into this game that Otega Owe is going to take a last-second shot that he'll have to try to bank in to send it to overtime, if you push this button that I'm going to put in front of you right now, they would just smash the shit out of the button. They'd be like, yeah, we'll take that deal. So yeah, I think like everything they did was fine. Otega Owe just made an awesome shot, and he was awesome this entire game. It was incredible. Like Kentucky, I mean, Riggs was sitting right over there when we were filling out our brackets, and I was like, Riggs, sell me on Kentucky, and he was like, this team stinks. He's like, I hate this team, but we're gonna beat Santa Clara. And to his credit, he was right. But as I'm watching Kentucky, I just had that same thought where I was like, yeah, this team stinks. This team just kind of sucks, but Otega Owe is so good. They just wouldn't let him lose.
Just looked really poorly coached.
Yeah.
Like, they had no offense. It seemed like they were running. They looked shell-shocked for half the game, and then just the talent in Owe took over. I think Owe legit saved Mark Pope's job with that shot.
He may have.
Yeah.
And now that we'll never know the other side, we can just argue.
argue that he did.
Yeah.
Now Kentucky can go if they lose that game, they have a full offseason of just fuck Mark Pope.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
He's the worst coach ever. Now he bought himself a little real estate. The other thing I had is when we did our All-American teams, our made-up All-American teams, I said Otega Owe would be one of these guys that you could possibly win
Did say that.
3 to 4 games
There you
just
go.
completely on his back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I don't know if he's going to do it against it's Iowa State, right?
Iowa State, yeah.
I doubt it, but I mean 35, 8 and 7.
Jefferson though,
Yeah,
they look a little more vulnerable now.
Yeah. 35, 8 and 7. If he can just,
That's insane.
I don't know, 25 and 10 or whatever. Like,
It's a big boy performance.
Those you don't have stat lines like that.
That's like a
in college
Luka
basketball.
on the Lakers stat.
Right.
Yeah. One more point about that ending that I want to make is that should be a good example for the people who lose their minds when coaches don't call timeouts at the end. I don't necessarily think there's one right way to do it, but when a coach does not call a timeout in a situation where you're screaming at your television, why is he not calling timeout? It's not because necessarily, maybe it's not true of all coaches, but it's not necessarily because the coach just doesn't know what he's doing or doesn't have a play call. Like Herb Sendek had a timeout, did not call it. Mark Pope did not have a timeout, but it still worked out for him. But like that's because the chaos of like sometimes you just let the flow of the game happen, and when you stop down and run set plays, like it doesn't. And Rick, like you pointed out, these are college kids. They fuck shit up. You draw up plays. They don't work out like you want them to. You probably practice it a little bit, and in your mind, when you get done with practice, you're like, all right, the kids get the play. And then now they're in a full arena, and and the pressure's on, the biggest moment of their life, they might forget the play. And my point is just remember plays like that. Remember that Herb Sendek not calling a timeout worked out really well for him until it didn't, because Otega Owe banked in a 3.
And I was taught, I think everyone watches games thinking, okay, you need a timeout to set up a play, get a set play, whatever. I was taught that timeout helps the defense. It doesn't.
A little bit, yeah.
Offense wants it chaotic. They're not ready to go. Once you have the stoppage in play, it's easier for the defense to set.
I will say, as a neutral watching that game, as Santa Clara is bringing the ball up and you realize they're not calling timeout, there is like a little bit of like, oh shit, they might just win this right now.
Yep.
Whereas if they call time, I don't know. So I feel like that's something that pops up in basketball all the time. And anytime a coach, like if the guy misses that shot, everyone's like, what? You take that timeout home with you, Herb? Why did you not call it? And it's not always that easy of an answer.
Cody, I'm going to rip an ad real quick. I need you to pull up Kevin Willard and Prairie View's coach. We had two. I know the games weren't necessarily noteworthy, but we had some pretty funny sideline interviews today. Man, I want to talk to you guys about something real quick, though, that I wish we learned in school. I've been getting older, and suddenly everything else feels harder. Not just the gym stuff, but like everything. That's why you should start taking Mars Men. Mars Men gives you the same benefits of optimized testosterone, energy, strength, focus without shutting your body down. No synthetics, no needles, no dependency. It's just like hitting the reset button on your hormone factory instead of shutting it down. Just real natural ingredients that support healthy T levels, stamina, and recovery. Finally, something that gives you all the benefits without the long-term scary stuff. For a limited time, our listeners are getting 50% off for life, plus free shipping and 3 gifts at mengotomars.com. That's mengotomars.com. 50% off and 3 gifts when you check out. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. So please be sure to support our show and tell them who sent you.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Oh,
Can I read a couple stats before you do this?
Stat me.
You mentioned this wasn't an interesting weekend.
I did.
This is via Matt Norlander. This year's first round had 13 of its 32 games decided by at least 20 points. That's the most ever.
wow.
Most ever blowouts first round.
Wow.
And then today was just the second time ever that 0 double-digit seeds won a first-round matchup.
Wow.
This is
So
we're in unprecedented
so
levels.
it's not
of
just
having
our perception.
right.
It's not. It actually is reality that this.
I mean,
We're in
Florida,
unprecedented levels of bad games for a first round.
Florida won by 60.
That was
And you won a bet.
I did. I won
And you were
57.5. Yeah. I think this is just kind of the new norm in a way. But again, we saw Duke. So it's kind of weird where it's like we thought Duke was this world beater all year, and then they're struggling against Siena, and then we see Florida against a similarly seeded
That's right. That's right. Yeah,
weird.
UConn against Furman was closer than it probably should have been. So it's not as clear cut as like the top teams are just blowing all these teams.
Yeah.
Out. But at the same time,
the favorites are winning.
I think the margin of error is so can you get an upset? Of course you can get an upset. But also, Titus, as we watch the games on the couch today, we're sitting there being like, well, he might be a guard for Ohio State next year, or he could be a guard for. So these mid-major guys, you put on a show in the tournament, you're not going back to that mid-major.
I hate that, dude. I really do.
Worst.
I know it's gonna sound like I'm just saying it. It's empty words, but I do hate that. It sucks. I would love for like my ideal situation after one round is like there are 3 or 4 Cinderellas. We should have like 3 or 4. And we have one. High Point's the only one, and they play my favorite player. My favorite player tomorrow.
Yeah.
And yeah. So that's the way it goes.
I think it's just the new norm.
You wanted to play some clips, or
Yeah, let's start with Kevin Willard. And Kevin Willard, I thought this was funny, but also shows me how dumb the internet can be because there's some people pissed off at Kevin Willard.
Pain points for Utah State. How do you keep them out?
I'm gonna fire my staff because we've
Not now.
yeah, I am because we've given up 8 points on underneath out of bounds defense. So the only thing I'm gonna do is fire them and get a new staff.
All right, go do that now. Bye, Coach. Kevin, we're losing people. By the second.
Not now.
What if he did? What if you fired him?
yeah, people are losing their minds.
It's not as funny now that they lost.
Right.
Yeah,
To Villanova fans, at least.
Yeah.
that's true. Had they won, this would be a pretty funny.
Yeah.
They just put one thing I've noted in this tournament is how they're putting coaches and players in just funny spots. Like Bruce Thornton, they were down 15 at the half, and he had to go to a half.
Have you noticed that's what they're doing now? They're doing halftime interviews with the losing team.
Yeah, what
Is
if
that new?
Why are they doing that?
Is this a new thing?
Yeah, I don't remember it happening.
I've seen it 10 times.
They
It's
don't-
always
they
the
don't-
losing team.
Which is fucked up. You should talk to the team that's winning that feels good. Like
Yeah, they interviewed Malik Brown, and he was like, "Yeah, we thought we were gonna dominate."
yeah, we
thought it was going to be a cakewalk. We
Cakewalk.
thought this team sucked.
Well, and then they interviewed the coach of, which I assume you want to play next, the Prairie View. Yeah.
Which, again, when you're down by 30, what are you supposed to say? And I guess, honestly, Cody, this is what you're supposed to say.
Here we go. Here comes Prairie View A&M coach, whose name escapes me because I never
AJ
had it in
caught
the
up with Prairie View's Byron Smith.
There it is, Byron Smith.
Coach, Florida on an 18-0 run here. What more do you need from your guys to slow this down and get into their game?
Then we need some help from the Lord. They're very good. We just got to keep defending, trying to switch our defenses, trying to throw them off, but they've been very efficient. So we just got to keep plugging away and try to get stops, try to keep off the glass. They're a very, very good team, bro.
Thank you, Coach.
We need some help from
The Lord did not help them.
I did not.
The Lord was looking elsewhere during that game. Good God, it was a blowout.
It reminds me of one of my favorite Onion headlines ever, where it's God answers prayer of like I forget, I'm paraphrasing obviously, but God answers prayer of paraplegic 4-year-old. No, says God.
Oh, God answers prayer of little paralyzed boy.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that was basically what that was. Like we're gonna ask the Lord for some help, and the Lord said, "Nah."
Do you take anything away from that game, or is it just kind of like?
No, I mean, like you pointed out that Florida blew out their 16 seed and Duke struggled with theirs. I do think Prairie View likes to get up and go, and I think like stylistically, it was. I don't read too much into the final score of like I don't come away from this being like, oh my God, Florida won by 60, whereas the other one seed only won by 30.
Yeah.
So that must mean Florida's. I think it's just it's the way the game shook out, and Prairie View is like, we only know how to play one way, and you guys are better than us, so we'll let you score. How many did they finish with? 115? 115? Crazy.
16?
I'm interested to see Duke tomorrow.
You know what I take away from the Florida game is that Jack dude.
114. Oh, yeah.
I take
2 years
that
in a
away.
row.
Oh, so jacked.
What the hell?
They've had back-to-back Jack guys.
What do you guys say on mostly sniffing Kizzy? Does that mean?
I guess. Yeah.
Is that what that means? I don't know anything about what that means.
Yeah, sniffing Kizzy.
Isn't that like you're calling like foul?
You're sniffing cap.
Am I missing something? What's
yeah.
Kizzy mean?
Kizzy means cap.
Okay, then I am
actually
sniffing
out of the
Kizzy.
I don't fucking like Connor Griffin said it one time, and
Got it.
I'm
calling bullshit because there was a guy last year that went viral for just being fucking jacked in a Florida uniform, and I think someone watched that and said, "I can do that."
I can go. We can go bigger.
Yeah, Cody, do you have the
also
last
go-
year's guy? I think Big Cat. Yeah, this is this year's guy.
I think
That's
he
just-
retweeted it.
That's just not a
main
real
account
human.
posted it.
That's not a real human being.
That's not a real. No,
That's like AI. That's like an actual
that's exactly what that is.
living, breathing
Speaking
Photoshop.
of-
But then
that
That's
guy's
just-
bigger. He's bigger.
and those are just your Florida fans.
These are the Florida basketball fans.
Speaking of AI and robots, what happened to the fucking the graphic? You know, the graphic robots.
Oh,
just cooking people.
Where have they been?
Oh yeah,
Louisville, Indiana.
Where did they go?
that's right.
They heard us and they said no.
Well, I'm glad they're gone. I was worried.
Imagine the crash dummy showed up in the NCAA tournament.
When Louisville and Indiana played, great call, Dana. And I think I said on the show, I was like, we're going to see this shit at the
I
tournament.
think you ended them.
Yeah.
Maybe we did.
They would just show you the most like mundane corner three, but from a robot's perspective.
I completely forgot about that, Dana.
That felt like forever ago.
Good call.
That feels like a lifetime ago.
Shout out Braden Smith setting the all-time assist record.
Yep.
Very deserving. I'm a huge fan of his as well, which won't get clipped and will not get sent out to the internet whatsoever, but I'm still going to say it nonetheless because it's how I feel. And that's what I do on this show is I sit down and talk about basketball and say what I think. And I love watching him play. And I think, it's cool to see a record that – is this what you were going to say?
I don't know. What are you going to say?
That's a good point. You don't know what I'm about to say. To see a record – you're not inside my head. To see a record that was thought of as like untouchable kind of because any player that's good enough to get a lot of assists will surely go to the NBA, whatever. I feel like college basketball records aren't going to fall like this.
Yeah.
Like semi-meaningful ones, you know, like I think all-time assists, all-time rebounds, all-time points, those are ones that I'm sure at some point like the highest field goal percentage is on a Wednesday, like that'll fall. But like this one matters, and Braden Smith is a worthy guy to have the honor. So congrats to him.
Sorry, go ahead, Rick.
I always just think back to his freshman year when he was a skinny kid from Westfield and he didn't know how to break the press against FDU and he looked absolutely lost out there. And just to see the career that he's had, and clearly he's a guy who works his ass off, to see, the player he's turned himself into, genuinely pretty cool to watch over the last 4 years. So
for sure.
Hashtag say something nice about Purdue.
I kind of jokingly said this on the stream to you, Mark, but in all reality, do you think this kind of takes off a little pressure for him just in this tournament to kind of just relax a little bit?
Just play ball.
Play ball?
Yeah, I think so. How could it not? Like Dana, if you were in his shoes, would you not?
Yeah.
Would you not have had that on your mind?
Oh, yeah.
I saw a stat about this. Braden Smith stats per 40 minutes before breaking the assist record, per 40. 16 points, 10.5 assists. Braden Smith's per 40 stats after passing the record, 35 points, 9 assists.
So he starts.
So he's absolutely like shooting more and not
shooting more. Well, there you go.
Something to look out for.
Keep an eye on that.
That's per Evan Maya, by the way.
Malik Renu gets to play Purdue in the second round.
Knows a thing or two about beating Purdue.
Yeah,
that was another very cool thing from today, was seeing him take over and kind of have his moment for Miami. He caught a lot of shit from Indiana fans, so was happy to see him.
Is the game ball becoming a topic, or is this just because am I just seeing the right things? Is it do we feel like this is a quote unquote thing?
I don't know,
because it's been a thing in the past in the tournament, and it got brought up. The play-in game, there was a video that went that made the rounds of like a staffer on one of the teams was bouncing the ball, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, they're overinflating the balls again." And then DeRitter on Virginia said that game ball was like a balloon out there.
Yeah.
And then Big T, like it got put in his head that on Wub on Thursday, I was talking to Big T about the balls that they use at the NCAA tournament, all that. And ever since I told him about that, I swear to God, he's mentioned it like 10,000 times.
He said there's springs in
every time a shot misses, he's just like, "It's the fucking ball. It's the fuck."
Well, my only pushback on that is it's not like college basketball is known for having like the greatest shot making ability across the board.
Yeah.
So like, when DeRitter says something, okay, he's a great player. Also, college kids just stink sometimes. So some of these games with bad shot making are because they're college kids that aren't very good at basketball.
My explanation of the ball is that they do overinflate them because there's a lot of cushioning on these new ones, and like we have them in the office, and I enjoy shooting them. They're my favorite. Those are the ones I go to when I go out there to put shots up. I grab the balls that they use for the NCAA tournament. But they have a lot of cushioning, and my theory is that when you're pushing in to like see how much air is in it, when you give it like one of those like squeezes, because of the cushioning, it like feels like it's pushing in a lot. Yeah, but you got to just do one of those. I don't know why they don't. I don't know why they don't just do one of those. But if you do the pushing on those, they feels like
it could be fake.
It feels like it's flat, so they just keep pumping more air in.
But then just do one of those.
That's, by the way, the cushioning and the grip is the reason when you watch a college basketball game in the NCAA tournament versus like an NBA game, you see so many more wonky bounces. You see so many more like the ball rolls around, hits off the backboard. You see so many more wedgies. When's the last time you saw a wedgie in an NBA game? How often you see a wedgie in an NBA game?
Not often. We saw a lot today.
What's an NBA ball like? I've never played an NBA.
The NBA ball is really slippery when your hands are dry.
Really?
And then it becomes tacky and sticky when your hands are wet. The college ball is the exact opposite. You can get a good grip on it, but if your hands get wet, you're fucked and it slips. And the difference is, so when the NBA ball hits the rim, it like slides in. It just goes like they don't have like the like roll around the rim and all that sort of shit. It just kind of goes in. In college, you get the wonky bounces, you get the like wedgies because the grip on the ball like is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I like those way better.
So there you go.
I watch a lot of NBA and I don't see any fucking toilet bowls.
Yeah.
Or wedgies or anything.
And part of it is they are way better, but at the same time, you would assume that like once every so often there would just be some fuckery with some of the NBA shots, and it's because the ball like just slides right in. Anyway, I noticed that though that DeRitter was talking about the game ball, so something to monitor there as well.
I think before we get out of here, we do have to send a farewell to a fellow show member.
Yeah,
we lost Green Greg tonight.
We're out of teams in the tournament this whole show. We're out.
Oh fuck.
We're all out. Cincy's out. Ohio State's out. Indiana's out.
Some of us were never in.
Whoever Cody likes is out.
Was he right?
Most importantly,
maybe
Green Greg is
He was also there are some Kentucky fans that are dead to him that he wanted to fight, I guess.
Oh shit.
You know what's insane? Darren Peterson put that as his profile picture. If you look right out at Darren Peterson's profile,
it's Green Greg.
It's Green Greg. What does it mean? What does that mean? Can you imagine?
What would that symbol?
That's something.
Could you?
Lukey. Oh wow.
Wow.
That one's worn down, so it's not gonna have as much grip. But
yeah, but
if
good
you got
grip.
like a fresh one of those.
Ate the casual palm.
Yeah.
Is this what an NBA ball's like?
Yeah. Isn't it slippery?
Let me tell you what I don't want to shoot is that basketball.
Yeah, I hate those.
But if you get your hands, if you like lick your hands,
I like my hands,
and then you put some chalk on them, you get a good grip on this. This one's a lot.
We do got to shout out.
That's the ball you use to get the perfect swish in After Dark, right?
That's
this one.
ball.
Yeah, this is the swish
Is
ball. Yeah, and NBA swishes sound so much better. You ever notice that when they swish, it's just a.
Darren Peterson played great tonight.
Yeah.
He might be back.
I love this Dana pivot.
Dana's been
just a hard pivot.
All I needed was some inside information.
What a hard pivot, Dana.
Now I love him.
He's awesome.
Is that real?
Wait.
28 points.
Oh my God, I was kidding about Greg, but is that real?
I thought he needs more followers, man. Come on.
Is that real?
No.
Dana, you know what you should do?
I know it's been a long day. We can't be getting.
As an olive branch, Dana, you should start trying to get people to follow your boy DP.
I followed him.
Just be like, no, but like start tweeting out, be like, yo, get my boy DP a follow.
Do what Jerry did with the Bonsa and just be like, y'all seeing my man DP out there?
If you don't know, now you know.
He's an up and comer. Everybody be sure to follow.
Yeah.
Just keep tagging him. Get him some followers.
Get on the ground floor.
My boy's trying to get his thing off the ground. Y'all can throw him a follow real quick. That'd be helpful.
Titus, you ready for the best part of the show?
I'm ready.
All right.
Oh, yeah, well, let's wrap it up.
Roast time, baby.
It's roast time.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, shit.
No, I'm not. Bullshit, Cody. You've perfected that move.
The Huskies were shedding the Paladins. There was too much fur, man.
Good.
That's a good one.
Good one.
I like that one.
That was good. That was a good one.
Now, Cody, before you continue, I want to remind you that you should, when you're doing this, because this is the second year you've done this now, right?
Yeah.
You should make sure your best joke is last and you walk it off. And you do like a mic drop, okay?
I feel like
I feel like
he does come out of the gate.
goes best first.
You always do best first. And then it just peters out, and then we just kind of awkwardly end the show.
You got to go second best, bad, best.
And I'm really worried because that one was really good. And I'm really worried that's the only good one.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was a good one.
All right, keep going. Go ahead.
Tigers took the L. Finally put us out of our misery.
Okay.
I'm in with that.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
I'm in with that.
Walking down the street today, this girl told me to bet on the Hawkeyes versus Clemson. Iowa won big time.
Iowa.
I think
Iowa.
I'll say
Yeah.
Iowa.
I think he's 3 for 3.
Yeah.
I think he's 3 for 3.
The Raiders couldn't focus against the Cavaliers. They were in the wrong state of mind.
Right state.
Right state.
Oh,
Right state.
I think he's 4 for 4.
They're in the wrong state.
Yes,
I think he's
dude.
4
That
for
one's
4.
good. That
Well
one's
done.
good, Cody.
Tennessee, Miami, Ohio. That sounds like Ohio State describing the moms of the Red Hawk roster. Only 10 I see.
Still a scout check.
Man, what a
Cody.
day for Big T. Not only did Tennessee win, but we also got to watch Arizona and Long Island.
Oh, he's
Big
talking
T.
about he's talking about Ice-T.
Ice-T.
yeah.
Ice-T. That's
Viral
good.
tweet. That
That's
was a
really
viral
good.
tweet.
That's
Had it
really
on
good.
Spin. Yeah.
He's really got the delivery down on these.
Santa Clara, Kentucky was like watching two dudes fighting in opposite directions while getting haircuts. Back-to-back buzzer beaters.
He did not go best to save the best for last.
These are God,
No, that was the only one that sucked.
you
That was
ended
my
on the
best-
worst.
That was the only one that sucked.
That
I
was
think the
best
simpler
one.
the better, Cody.
Back buzzer beaters.
That was the best one.
Say it one more time.
All right.
Just the last one.
Santa Clara, Kentucky was like watching two dudes fighting in opposite directions while getting haircuts. Back-to-back buzzer beaters.
Two dudes fighting in opposite directions,
Back
Better,
to
it's
back.
better the second time.
And then, yeah,
which is a scenario we all.
best jokes are
we
the
all
ones
know
you
well.
have to explain. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right.
What a sign off.
All right. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully the games are good tomorrow. But yeah, we'll be back tomorrow night after the games. See you guys.
See you
Thanks
then.
for everybody for watching.
Stream's not till
410.